Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm your average elder millennial, husband, father to a toddler, nerd of all trades, and I'm a former SaaS business employee. That last part is going to take some prominence because as of Friday the 13th, January 2023, I'm no longer employed. The details surrounding this, as well as information about my former employer, I won't provide any specific details about, for a myriad of legal reasons. The long and the short of it is that I was terminated for a mistake I made. It wasn't malicious, it wasn't catastrophic to the company, but it was the nail in my professional coffin. So that brings us to why. Why am I recording myself talking about it and putting it out here for everyone to see? I've been through the ringer with this already. Friday was challenging to say the least, and I know that I'm not done dealing with what happened. I want to use these feelings in a constructive manner. This is my way of trying to make sense of what's happened and what will happen while having a, thankfully, personally unique opportunity. How does one go from having no job to having a job in 2023? I personally have quite a bit going for me in my efforts to regain employment. My situation will certainly be different from some folks without my very same privileges, being a mid-30s cis white male with a pretty generic white name gives me an extra boost that my privilege affords. The field I've been in for more than a decade is flexible, and I am too in my skill set. Because of this flexibility, there will likely be opportunities for employment, if not the ones I intended. I also have good references from previous employers and from colleagues. Given these factors, I don't think I'm going to be breaking any paradigms or helping the world rethink how weird, daunting, stressful, and at times inhumane and inhuman the job hunting process is for current and future professionals. My wants are threefold. I want to catalog and track this process towards the goal of gainful employment. By proxy, I want to help anyone who is struggling to do the same by seeing this journey in action, and hopefully, for you and I to laugh at the absurdity of life, the situation that we now find ourselves in. As a jumping off point, I want to recount the days and how my mindset has started to shift. For some background, I've been working for this company for just under a year. I've been doing so remotely. I've been working remotely since March of 2020, and while I am used to it, I find that I personally miss people. Day zero was a 9:30 meeting. That was it. The whole process was over. I wasn't an employee anymore. In a matter of 20 minutes. No desk to clean out, no walk of shame, no escort out of the building by security. It was just over. Day zero was a blur after that, just ping-ponging off emotional outbursts and periods of intense apathy. My wife, bless her, helped me stay grounded, took over the heavy lifting with our son, and kept me from going crazier than I already am. I called my folks and I broke the news to them. And I wrote a very angry retelling of the events to help me process things. Other than that, day zero ended with very little fanfare. For day one, I woke up to a very numb morning. Went through the morning routine with my son, but feeling like I was missing a limb of sorts. I went to the gym and I tried to burn the devil out of me, which did feel good, but it was fleeting. I found that I was just still angry. And the more I thought about it, the more angry I was. I was quick to anger, and I was quick to be annoyed midway through the day. And I kept trying to bring it back to center. I personally find that being productive is a great way out of those ruts when you find yourself in them. So I decided to be productive. The productive thing I did was write about 90% of what you're listening to. I'm still wondering how to present this in a meaningful way, which is a problem for, well, now, but it says later. I was lucky enough to go out and see some old friends, which we had planned long before this had happened. I was spending my time that evening trying not to dwell on what had happened and make good choices, not wallow in the pain that wasn't far from the surface. I told my friends what happened, and it went over like a lead balloon. Obviously, this isn't good news to hear that a friend got fired, but they were supportive, and we toasted, and we had fun, and it's kind of what I needed. On day 2, I decided that I would do this. It was a sarcastic joke about what I would do with my time now that I'm going to have a lot more of it suddenly. So I figured I'm actually going to take a stab at this. I think there's plenty of opportunity here for me to coalesce all of these weird energies and use it to make something. Partly for my own recovery, partly so that anyone else who's going through this kind of thing can also see the light. I'm really new to this upload schedule, vlogging, YouTube, editing, etc., etc. I've gotten bits and pieces of video work here and there, but I'm quite new to this whole thing. I wanted to take the time and design a format and get everything together, and, well, good is the enemy of perfect, right? Good corporate speak. But I figured I'd spend days or weeks trying to figure out what I really wanted to do before I ever did anything. So I'm just going for it. And I'll add on to this where time permits. Please ignore my mostly blank background. I also wanted to say that while I'm going to share my story, I'm also going to be somewhat vague for my own personal well-being. My name really is Jeff, but beyond that, I'll be using placeholders or generics for the companies I apply for and about my personal life, and what I don't feel comfortable sharing with the entirety of the internet. You understand. So, tomorrow, I'm going to end the mourning period of this job loss process and start the personally very painful part, job hunting. I'm going to keep a tally of my applications and their statuses, and I'll give a personal update on the act of job hunting. If you're following along, or if you're just starting this journey yourself, know that you're not alone. However you exited your past job is not the end of you. Tomorrow is another chance to try again. As cliche as that is, and as hard as it is to swallow my own medicine, even I'm going to take that. Follow along with me. Let's try and get through this together. And don't forget to laugh at how absurd of a life this is. Thank you so much. See you next time.